Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and everybody hates Overwatch competitive. Now, I put a tweet out and I said, guys, what games are you playing this weekend? Or, you know, how are you finding Overwatch and all that good stuff? And people were like, well, Sty, I'm not playing Overwatch anymore because competitive is terrible. And this was the main message I was getting through. So then I took a look on the official forums and I see a load of hate towards competitive. I then take a look on all of the various Reddits and there's a load of hate towards competitive. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, yeah, it's warranted. Do I actually enjoy competitive? It was an honest question I asked myself, and I don't think I do. Like, this is the crazy thing. Like, I'm not playing competitive for competitive. I'm playing it because I enjoy playing Overwatch, and it's the best chance I've got of having a structured game. But even then, it's very random, and that's a massive problem. So we're at the post-BlizzCon sort of honeymoon is definitely over now. We got a new hero, Moira. You guys know I love this hero. If you follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, you will know that I've been tweeting constantly about this hero. I'm playing it solidly. In fact, on my Stylosa account, which is Crusher 99, that one, it's only played Moira this season. It has become a one trick, ladies and gentlemen, right? But I'm really enjoying that hero. It's so cool and it's awesome. Then we've got Blizzworld, which is on the PTR. Yeah, you know, the most detailed map they've ever made. This is awesome. The problem is, the underlying issue of competitive has not been addressed at all. In fact, the only change we've got for Season 7 is that Grandmaster players can only group with players within 250 SR of them. That's the only change for Season 7 from Season 6. I mean, that's not really anything, is it? Because, you know, Grandmaster players are a very small amount of the community, so who cares about those guys? But yeah, what about all the other issues? Now, I'd like to believe the devs are not stupid, ladies and gentlemen. They understand the game. And we've been bashing the hell out of competitive for a very, very long time. So they must be, right? Maybe this is just in my wildest dreams, but they must be in the final stages of rolling out a potential major update for competitive. Or at least this is something they're working on. Because I can't for the life of me think about what is actually the next big thing for Overwatch. I mean, well, there are two things, right? There are a guild system, and then there is a competitive overhaul. That's honestly it. Like, we know we're going to get a Christmas event. We know we're going to get more skins. We know we're going to get a hero in April next year. We just know these things are going to happen. Then we'll get one in, like, March, April, May, June, July, like about August, and September, October, November, or whatever we get one. That's what we get that. 3 heroes a year, multiple events a year. We know what most of the events are. We're going to get the Winter Wonderland event with new skins, a new little game mode, a new wintry map. And then we're going to get Year of the Rooster, which is great. And then we're going to get the next PvE event, which is going to probably be not Uprising, because if it is Uprising again, then that is going to be a major, major problem. But I can't imagine it being that. But then again, I said Junkenstein's Revenge probably won't be the same as it was again, and it was. So it's like, Blizz, what are you doing? Anyway, competitive, right? The pros hate competitive. Now, you're probably thinking, Sty, who even cares, right? If you're telling me Grandmaster players are like a small proportion of the community, the pros are like, they're non-existent, right? The numbers of pros is very small. The thing is, they do not like competitive. Now, whatever you want to say against pro players, like, oh, who cares what they think and all of that stuff, it's not entirely true, because these are players who spend their entire life playing Overwatch. Like, they probably play Overwatch 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day. Every waking hour, they play Overwatch, they live and breathe Overwatch. So they're actually in a pretty good position to give feedback. In fact, they're in the best position. They're the best at the game. They understand the systems. They can give feedback. Yeah, sure, sometimes they can be very sort of elitist, and that's always going to happen, right? Because, well, they are the best. But their feedback is critical to the survival of the game, especially to competitive mode. However, they do not play competitive. The only pros that play competitive are the ones that stream on Twitch. The rest of them don't care. They hardly play, right? What they do is they get together in private groups. Well, they call them pugs, so pickup groups. Pro pugs is what they're called. They form them in private Discord channels, and then they play custom games against each other over and over again, because they get a much better gaming environment. Because what is happening there when they do this? Okay, sure, it's groups of pros together, so it's not just people off the ladder, but it's groups of pros that are willing to build teams together, yeah? This isn't just, oh, we've got 5 DPS and 1 support player. That happens on ladder. It happens a hell of a lot. In fact, DPS is the biggest problem in this game. Everybody out there fancies himself as some sort of hot shit, apologies for my language, ladies and gentlemen, but DPS player who can just carry the game, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm the best, I'm going to do whatever. When I watch overanalyze videos back, The worst, by far, the worst tier or tiers in the entire game are the boundaries between ranks. So if you've got a platinum player who's about to go into diamond, or he's just in diamond and playing with platinum players, that player believes they are so much better than the platinum player. It is unbelievable. It's even worse from diamond to master, because a master player thinks they're the best, right? And so they will really wreck the game because they think they're awesome. And this is a major, major problem. But how do you get around all of this? This is the big thing, right? How the hell do they get around all of this problem? Well, role select is something I've been told multiple times will never happen. So I think we just need to forget role select. What we need, though, is a way of the matchmaker just putting us, at least building a team, or like 3 people saying, okay, we're going to put a tank and 2 supports in this game, or a tank, a support, and a defensive hero. I mean, I don't really agree with that, because that could be like a, Widowmaker and Hanzo are not defensive heroes, are they? They're offensive. So, in fact, why have they even got categories for heroes anymore? Just get rid of the category system. It's stupid. But we should have a healer and a tank in every single game. I play in games where there are multiple mercy mains or support mains. You cannot win a game of Overwatch with 3 support mains. Well, okay, sometimes in crazy situations you might do, right? Which may be me proving my own point wrong here, that, yeah, sometimes if you've got 3 supports, you might be able to win. But the chances of that are very low. But if you've got 4 supports, it's even worse. It means you're going to have not enough DPS, because support players are not DPS players. They're support players. Yeah, they might be able to play DPS, but can they play it at the level they're playing the other supports at? I can give you relevant experience. I'm playing Moira, like, pretty much exclusively right now. I love this hero. It's very effective. It gets a lot of eliminations. There's a lot of damage. There's a lot of healing. It's probably OP, but right, I know that if I need to play DPS at the games I'm playing in now, it's going to be a bit of a struggle because I'm used to playing support. So my entire playstyle would have to change. And this is the thing. Everybody is a type of player when it comes to Overwatch. You're either a support player, you're a tank player, you're a DPS player. That's what you are, right? Then you can break it down even more. You could say the DPS could be, a sniper, could be like a soldier DPS, could be a flanker, like a Tracer or a Genji. You look at the tanks, you've got main tanks, you've got Winston, you've got Reinhardt, then you've got the off tanks, Roadhog, Zarya, Diva. These are all, Orisa, I guess she's a main tank as well. Then you've got the supports who are broken down into, their categories. So you can really drill this down. But I guarantee that if you look in the mirror and ask yourself this question, what type of Overwatch player am I? You will either say DPS, support, or tank, right? Now look at me. I've played all of the heroes in the game, like to death, with the exception of Genji, because I'm not very good with Genji. But with all the other heroes, I've played them to death, right? So I know, okay, I can play flex. I can be, we need DPS, I'll play DPS. We need a tank, I'll play tank. The problem with this is, right, it means you're not specialized. And I've got to be honest now, guys, right? If you're not specialized in this game, it heavily damages the way you play. Now, the idea of a one trick is, okay, whatever. But the idea of a main is what we need to focus around here. You are a tank main. You are a support main. You are a DPS main. You have to be able to tell the game that. Then the game has to go, okay, you are DPS. We are going to put you with a tank and a support. That's what it needs to do. Why it's not doing this, I have no idea. That to me seems like such an absolutely basic fix for this, because in every game of Overwatch, you need a tank, you need a support. Do that, and we're on to a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Overwatch League. Now, a lot of you guys out there are probably like, well, start Overwatch League. What do I care about that? Like you said, pros, they're such a small proportion of the community. Who cares? Well, I've kind of explained why you should care about what pros say. But here's the thing, right? Overwatch League is a massive thing, like a massive endeavor from Blizzard and from Overwatch. If this fails, it won't be very good for the game. I don't think it will fail. I'm actually feeling quite positive about this now. The thing is, though, what about in a year's time? What about in 2 years' time? Where are the next Overwatch League players coming from? They cannot play on ladder and then progress to being a pro right now, because the pros don't even play on ladder. So how do you go from being a grassroots player to working your way up the ladder, like Crusher 99, right? Work your way up the ladder, get noticed by pros, get into their team, start getting into their scrims. How are you going to do that if the pros, the current pros, are not actually looking on ladder? They're in their own little community outside of the competitive environment. If that is not a death sentence for competitive, I don't know what is. So alarm bells have to be ringing, and they better have been ringing for the last couple of months, because competitive cannot remain how it is, because it is not a good gaming experience, is it? So how does your competitive games go, guys? Let me know in the comments below, because this is how mine go. I will load into the game. I will, as of right now, I'll try and play Moira. If I can't, then I'll probably play another support or something like that. But I go into that game and I hope to God that we don't get really... I don't want to use the term poor players because that's not true, but I hope to God that we don't get a poor team comp. And I've had poor team comps. For example, I had a Reaper one trick and a May one trick. That's a problem, right, when you're on Li Jiang, because yes, they can work on some points, but Garden, which is like never going to work for May or Reaper, is going to be a problem. And you know you're going to lose the game because of that. The Bastion one trick I spoke to you guys about in a video last week, I've actually come across this guy quite a few times as well. And again, it's the same old case of this hero does not work on this map, so we're going to lose this game. And that is not great. Like, you lose the game before you even get into the match. That should never happen in this game. In what game does that happen? You can argue, yeah, in League, yeah, in Dota it can, you know, if the picks and bans are bad or whatever. But most of the time with Overwatch, you know if you've won or lost based, or you know the chance of you winning or losing based off whoever has been selected in your team. If you've got a more meta team comp, you're feeling a bit better for yourself. And all I mean by that, I don't mean like, oh, we're going dive comp or we're doing whatever. I just mean we've got 2 supports and a main tank. That's all I mean. I've been in games where we don't have a main tank. Well, we've all been in these games, so it's pointless me saying this, but Horizon Lunar Colony, this game sticks out in my head. So, we're on defense, first point. We don't have a tank. We don't have an Orisa. We don't have a Winston. I wouldn't really recommend Winston on defense there. I mean, I'd be wanting an Orisa or a Reinhardt, but we don't have any of those. Instead, we've got a Diva and a Roadhog. So we've got 2 tanks, right? So arguably that's better than none, but we lose the first point immediately, and then the teams start flaming each other. Oh, God, what's going on? It's so bad. Well, we lost, guys, because we didn't have a main, like, an actual barrier tank to block the damage that they were going to spam into the choke. This happens all of the time, and it is really frustrating. You guys can tell by my voice, it is frustrating to me. Right now, I am enjoying playing competitive. I am enjoying playing Overwatch just because I'm enjoying playing Moira. And if anything, this has given me an insight into what it's like to be a one trick and just really be in love with one hero and just think, I really love this hero, so I'm going to play it no matter what. Like I've said, Moira isn't like a Bastion or a Torbjorn or a Symmetra where it doesn't work. No, it works on most maps, and you know it's highly effective at the moment, given the way I think if you adopt a certain playstyle, which I think I've very luckily just sort of fell into. But I don't know, guys. I'm feeling like we need the next developer update to be about competitive, and it has to be. We're changing the way the system works. We're going to do some type of... Okay, they're not going to do role select, but we're going to make changes so teams are formed better. Possibly we're going to give you some sort of guild system which links into this. Maybe all of this is just wishful thinking and it's not coming. You know, I don't know. But it seems to me that if they do not act on this, right, there will be a massive problem with this game going into next year, because if it does not have a competitive system, then why are you coming back to play Overwatch? The thing is, right, there's a lot of guys out there that play quick play, that play arcade, and you do get fun, right? You might jump in, play Overwatch for 2 games a day or whatever, but competitive, that caters to the people that play 3 hours every single day. They want to keep coming back. They want to get better, which is the other problem with competitive. What actually is the point of competitive once you reach a goal? Now, you could argue this is going to be a problem for any kind of competitive system. But imagine me, right? My goal for every season is to make sure I get to Grandmaster on all my accounts, yeah? I'll do it because I do it every season. Will I get to top 500? I've been there once, right, on one of my accounts. Not for very long, but I touched it and I've seen the crazy blue electronic icon and I was like, this is awesome. This is the best thing ever. But then, like, once I hit GM, like, that's kind of it, right? What's my goal then in competitive? This is why we need different types of competitive rewards. Now, I'm hoping that they go down a path to give us things which, like, right, all right. I'm just going to end the video on this because I'm in danger of just going into a massive rant here. But we know that Jeff doesn't like golden weapons, and that's fine. And we also know that that incentivizes competitive for the wrong reasons, because players who are not competitive natured will go into competitive just to earn points so they can buy a golden weapon, which isn't great, right? Because you need a different kind of player, like a player that wants to win at all costs in competitive. But there needs to be some sort of reward. I mean, I think they've kind of got it right with the unique sprays, and they've kind of got it right with the... well, I guess the sprays. That's a system they should expand on, right? They should be... You should get a spray for every tier of the game you get to. I think that would be a nice thing to do. Or some sort of recognition, because right now, you only really get recognition if you are top 500 player with your spray and your player icon. Or you get recognition if people look at your profile, which is another thing, right? Profiles... I think we need to be able to hide our profiles as well. I told you I'm in danger of going off on a tangent here, but I'm very, very passionate about this game, guys. And sometimes, like, I've done this and wrongfully done this as well. But I've looked at players' profiles and gone, "Excuse me, can you not maybe play Soldier because you have never played Soldier this season. But that guy might have played Soldier on a different account, might have played Soldier a lot the previous season. I don't know, might be able to play Soldier, but I'm just looking at the stats I've got in front of me and thinking, okay, this is a person who's played 10 hours of Ana and no hours of any DPS hero, so why isn't it playing support? And that there sets me off on the wrong foot straight away, and I'm sure that's the same for you guys. Guys, go crazy in the comments below. I want you to just get out, air all of your feelings about competitive. It needs something. So I'm very worried for the future of this game. And I just want to go back to enjoying Overwatch and playing it. So it's like, I'm into games and it's really close, good fun games, and there's good comms and we've got a good team comp. And that's the thing. I think all of this just stems from a good team comp. If we have a good team, then the rest of it just falls into place. And that's something Blizzard have got to do. You know, you can't expect all the players to be able to play all the different types of heroes. That's just never going to happen. Guys, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost, and 38 isn't old. So, yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Oh, my days. Toodaloo.